Thanks for joining us here at 4 as we come on air. We are following a major story. As the clock struck 4, a freeze on all federal grants and loans went into effect by order of the Trump administration. It is a move the new administration says is needed to determine the best use of funding. But the immediate impact is causing some confusion and chaos for organizations across the country. We get the latest from CNN's Laura Aguirre.
As of 5 p.m. Eastern today, all federal grants and loans are officially frozen.
It is a temporary pause, and the Office of Management and Budget is reviewing the federal funding that has been going out the door.
Democratic backlash swift and scathing.
Donald Trump has shut off billions, perhaps trillions of dollars that directly support states, cities, towns, schools, and most of all, American families.
The Appropriations Committee has voted bipartisan House, Senate, signed by the president, and this is law.
Appropriations governed by Article 1 of the U.S. Constitution, which essentially grants Congress the so-called power of the purse.
I spoke to my Attorney General this morning. She's head of the State Attorneys General Association. They're going to court right away.
An updated Budget Office memo sent out midday directs any agency impacted by the freeze to answer questions related to their purpose, such as aiding undocumented migrants, climate policy, diversity programs, or abortion.
It means no more funding for illegal DEI programs, for the Green New Scam, for transgenderism and wokeness.
The funding memo specifically names Social Security and Medicare benefits as exempt, along with, quote, assistance provided directly to individuals.
It is the responsibility of this president and this administration to be good stewards of taxpayer dollars.
They need tax cuts for the ultra-wealthy, and these cuts, they think, will fund them.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
In the last half hour, state leaders spoke about the aid freeze, saying as many as 1,000 state programs could be impacted by this, as well as thousands of employees who rely on federal funding for salaries. Right now, the state receives nearly $2 billion of funding from the federal government every month. Governor Walz says this freeze will impact things like Medicaid, law enforcement, schools, and health care, adding that Minnesota will join the lawsuit challenging the Trump administration.
Child care providers across the state, law enforcement, our prisons, things that we count on, individuals on Medicare, things that we know matter to people's lives. And I want to be very clear about this. Minnesota is a state that pays far more into the federal government than we get back. Those are our dollars that he is stealing unconstitutionally.
Representative Tom Emmer, a Republican, applauded the funding freeze, telling Politico that Trump is, quote, doing exactly what he was elected to do. Right now, several nonprofits across the state who rely on federal funding are scrambling to find an answer. At Head Start Minnesota, a nonprofit that provides early childhood services, leaders say they couldn't access their grant money to pay their bills this morning. Hours later, they received new information from their national office that Head Start programs are exempt from this federal freeze.
There was really just kind of a lot of panic and concern. If there are things coming out, we need a time frame that's more than a day, and that we need some mindful planning around what this looks like, how it's going to shake out.
KARE 11 has heard from other nonprofits that are struggling to access federal grant money today. The National Council of Nonprofits and a few other groups have filed a lawsuit to block this freeze of federal funding. And this just came in. A federal judge has temporarily blocked the Trump administration freeze on federal grants and loans. So we will be following that story to see what happens next.